Chumash and Rashi. We continue with the fifth reading. In Balak. We are in chapter 23, verse 13. We continue with the storyline. Bilam has blessed the Jewish people one time. Let's go for more. Go for broke today and tomorrow. Balak, and Balak said to him, come with me to a place misham, that you will see from there. You'll only see a part of them. And all of them you won't see. We brought this on Sunday night's class. They call Misham, and you'll curse them from there. Rashi, it's a command that you will curse from there. Yudalid 14. Bikacheu stayed Tzayfim, and he took him to the field of Tzayfim, the outlook. Look out. El Reisha Pisgah, to the top of the peak. Even Sheva Mizbachos, and he built there 7 altars. Bial Par Ba'ayal Mizbech, and he brought there a bull and a ram on each altar. Rashi stayed Tzayfim, the field of lookouts. Malcolm Gavoya Haya was a high place. Shama Tzeifa, I know, there was a lookout, right, that you would have a soldier, right, that was on watch there, whether there was an army that might be approaching the city. Reisha Pisgah, from the top of the peak, Bilam Loihaya Kaisen Kabbalah. That's interesting what it says over here. Bilam was not as an expert a diviner as Balak was. Ra Balak, Shasida Pirza Liparat B'Yisrael. Balak, the king, right? He saw that in the future that there would be some kind of a breakup, a misfortune that would happen to the Israelites from that point. Shisham Meis Moshe, because there Moshe passed away. So he thought, Balak, that from there the curse would begin. And this, he said, this was the misfortune that I see that will take place. So there was a misfortune, but not what he exactly thought. But Balak, and so Bilam said to Balak, remain here next to your offerings, your scent offerings. And I will communicate. I will have my calling here. From God. 16 rather. Vayikara Shem el Bilam, and again the word Vayikara meaning a happenstance meeting Hashem with Bilam. Yasim David Bifi, and he placed a message in his mouth. And he said to him, return to Balak, and this is what you should say. Rashi in 16. Yeah. Yasim David Bifib, and he placed a word in his mouth. Put words in his mouth. Mahu asima hazais. What is this that he put in his mouth? What's missing in the verse over here that he was not sufficient? The verse says that you should return to Balak and say, and she'ena nir kalel. So he understood Bilam that he wasn't going to be able to curse. Mani chayzer eitzel Balak l'tzayru. So he said, well, why am I going to go back to Balak to upset him? Nasan l'kadosh baruch hu, rasim chak b'fiv. So Hashem then put a hook in his mouth. Ka'ada paikes behema b'chaka l'hilicha ala she'yitza. Like a person who bridles an animal to hook it in order to lead it where he wants it to go. And so he said to him, against your will, you're going to have to go back to Balak. Right. Last time, if you remember, he first heard from God. Then he brought over what he heard from God and shared with Balak. Now he's telling him, go. He understood right away that that's not going to be exactly what he wants. Okay, and he came to him, and behold, he was standing next to his ascent offerings, and the dignitaries of Moab were with him. And Balak said, no. So what did God say? Rashi. In 17, and they were with him, the dignitaries of Moab. And above it says, all of the earlier it said, all of the nobles. So what happened is the nobles, they saw, the dignitaries saw that there's not much hope here. And some of them left. Only some remained. What did God say? There's like a mockery they're making. In other words, what did God say is if he has no control over the situation. That you're not in your own control. You're being controlled by God. What did he say? And he began to recite and proclaimed a parable. Balak, and he said, Balak, get up. And listen closely to me, son of Tzipor. Rashi in 18. Cool. Balak, get up. Right? So what happened? Well, why do you say that? But you see, he saw that he's making fun of him. He's mocking him, right? Balak is mocking Bilam. So now he intends to aggravate him. And you have no permission to sit. I'm sent to you, right? I've been sent to you on a mission from God. Ben Benoit Sipor, the son of Sipor. Loshem Mikra, who's Kamoy, Chaisa Yor, Chaisa Oris, and Minor Maya. It's an expression. Oh, exactly. Certainly wants to bring out there. Okay, 19. Lo ish kale. God is not a man. Bichaziv, that he should lie. A ben Adam, or a person. He's nachem, and that he should regret or reconsider. Hahu Omar. Hahu Omar, would he say, V'lo yasin adu? Diva v'lo yakimenu, say something and not fulfill it. Rashi in 19. Lo ishkel. God is not like a man. Kvar nishba. Lehem lavium. He already promised them that he's going to bring them. But Rishon says Sheva Umois, that they're going to inherit the land of the seven nations, right, in Canaan. And you think you're going to kill them in the desert? He's promised them that this is what they're going to do. Amar, Tema. This is a rhetorical question. Kitar Guba. And Uncle's translation, the Tevin means Malchin. Or his deeds are not like that are going to go back. They should reconsider to go back on them. 20. So, behold, I was taken to bless them. I bless them. He will not retract. All right, this is what's going to happen. They're going to get blessed. Rashi in 20. Hashem, you asked me, what does God say? I've received from him orders to bless them. God has blessed them, and I'm not going to be able to retract that blessing. Veirach. I think there's some grammar over here. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so just 21. Now it's further. Lahibid oven biyakov. He has not seen any oven. Here says idolaters. So literal translation means iniquity. That's literal translation. Amongst Jacob, meaning people of Israel called also Jacob, right? And he has not seen dishonest workers in Israel. Hashem Elokab, Hashem is his God, Imai, with him. Truas Melech boy. And the Trua usually would refer to like blast of the shofar, but here in this context it doesn't. Translate, so here is friendship. The king's friendship is with him. Okay, Rashi. Lahi ben Avim b'Yisrael. He hasn't seen any iniquity. Kitargumai. Uncle is the translation. I haven't observed no idol worship among the house of Jacob. So he translates it to mean idol worship. An alternative explanation. No. According to the straightforward meaning, can be explained in this way. That Hashem, first place, has not observed any falsehood that is in Yaakov. Shame Ovim al Dvarav, that when they transgress, the Jewish people, on God's words, excuse me, God is on exacting, being very strict, paying close attention. When they're disobedient to violate his law. Notice he looks for the good. Interesting. Give me just 1 second. Tissue. Okay, sorry. Thank you so much. Okay. Amal. Amal is oil. So here he says denoting lashana avera, denoting transgression. Kamay hara amal. Ata amal chas tabid lefisha avera amal lifnei amakom. So transgression is the disobedience before God. Okay. Hashem Elakav Imai. So God, their God is with them. Even when God is angered by them and they act rebellious towards him, he doesn't remove himself from their midst. Truas melech chiba bereos. So Rashi says that the word trua means an endearment and a friendship. Ray, David, I am David. You see somewhere elsewhere, friend of David, right? The same word. Okay. 22, just giving different examples where you see that it means friendship. Kale, wait, see him means from God that took them out of Egypt. Kisayafas for aim loy. The strength of his loftiness. Strength of his loftiness. Okay. 22 in Rashi. You said that a nation people that came out of Egypt, didn't come on their own. But God took them out. All right. That's the way Bilam had portrayed the Jewish people, or rather Balak, I think. Yeah, it was Balak who portrayed, about the nation that he wants to curse, to hire Bilam. So he portrayed them as a nation that came out, as if, they came out on their own. No, God brought them out. Okay. The strength of loftiness. Um, so elsewhere it's used as money will be straight. If you faith, I believe it's like a bird that soars. Another explanation is a might of your aim and it refers to demons. So either it means three different explanations it gives over here, right? The strength of loftiness, or like a bird that soars, or the power of demons, the might of demons. Interesting. Okay. 23. Because there's no diviners in Yaakov in the Jewish people. In other words, like Kesem be Israel, and no stick diviners in Israel. I'm going to explain. Ke'es Amar the Yaakov Israel Ma Pa'alkel. So just like then, when we said about Yaakov and Israel, what has God wrought? What has God done? Okay, let's see. 23 in Rashi. So they're fitting, they're worthy to get blessing. Because they don't have people predicting by omen or practice divining. And others, they're pure in accepting from God whatever comes. In the future, there will again be a time like this that their endearment to God will be shown to all. That they're sitting and learning Torah from his mouth and Hitzan Lifnim Malchei Hasharis. And they're learning Torah before God and learn Torah from his mouth. And they'll be closer to God than the ministering angels. Him Yishal Lehem, Paul Kill. And so the angels are going to ask, what actions has God performed? And that's what it means, is your eyes will see your teacher. I think that this is a reference to the times of Mashiach, right? That's what I think, but I'm not certain. Another explanation, what does it mean? Yaakov. So it doesn't mean the future. No, it's not a language of the future, like the first explanation, which was in times of Mashiach. But it's in present tense. They, the Jews, don't need to predict by omen or to be diviners. The Yaakov, the Israel, so whenever they have there's a decree, a heavenly decree. So whenever there's a decree from heaven, right, they don't need to be diviners, but they'll go to their prophets to find out, or to the Urim and Thummim, which is what the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, would wear the breastplate and ask, what has God done? In other words, what is the meaning of this, and how do we need to deal with it? Right. So that's what makes them worthy. Okay. So, hey, behold, a nation called Lavi. Oh, this is rising like here's some lion. This is the mission against Iran is called based on this verse over here. Yakum will rise, and others a lion will rise. The Karis Nas, and like a lion rising up. Lo yishkav ad yechal teref. He will not lie down the lion until it consumes its prey. The dam chalalim yishta, and drink the blood of the slain enemies. Look at that. 24. There are people like rise like a lioness. Kashem Imdim Mishnasim Shachris. So what does Rashi say? When they rise from their sleep in the morning, and Mizgabim Kilavi, they get up like a lioness, and like a lion. What are they for to do? What lachtev is a mitzvah is to grab mitzvahs, little talis to wear, a talis for prayer, and to read the Shema, to put on tefillin. Wow. Not exactly what you thought those words were going to mean, huh? This is what Bilam, imagine, this is what the non-Jew sees in the Jew. That's pretty amazing. So be it that the Jews should see that in themselves. Lo yishka balayla, they don't lie down at night. Al mitosei on his bed. Achu oichol mecha kol mazika balitarfoi, until he destroys every demon that come to mutilate him, to hurt him. Keita, how's he do it? Let me tell you, so he says the Shema before he goes to sleep, and that deals with all the negative forces and the demons. And he gives over his spirit to God. Yeah. Um, okay, so yeah, that's what he does. He says the Shema. Then comes an army that wants to do harm to them, and God protects them. And he fights their battles, um, and he slays their enemies. Another explanation. That what does this mean? That they get up like a lioness. It means like uncles, that the people dwell fearlessly like lioness and not dwell in its land until it has slain enemies and taken possession of the property of the nations. And they drink the blood of their slain. They drink the blood of the slain. So this is a prophecy that Bilam had that Moses is not going to die until he slays the kings of Midian, which will be in a couple of weeks, and that he, Bilam, would be slain amongst them. Yara gets who imam Shneimar says Bilam ben Boar Kaisam Hagu b'nei Yisrael. We'll say in chapter 13, verse 22. Okay, 25. Balak killed Bilam, and Balak said to Bilam, also you have not cursed them, but don't bless them. Like, why are you blessing them? 25. Gam Risha and Meisifal. Gam Hasheni. Begam Hasheni Gam Risha. The Gam meaning the also is adding on the first, on the second on the first. Achen גם לי, גם ברכון וגם יהיה חיים וגם ברכון וגם בסולה. Okay, similar idea. Beyond Bilam, and Bilam answered, Balak, and he said to Balak, did I not say Elecha to you? Or say, Kol Yidaber Hashem, say anything that God's going to speak, that's what I'm going to do. I have to obey God. And he's still evil because when God comes to him, he has no choice, but he doesn't want to do. He has his own agenda, right? Okay, I don't know what to do for Tanya with this. I don't have a camera. I'm going to shut down everything and see if it'll help. All right, see you shortly. I hope.
Thank
Well, hopefully, I might see you, but you may not see me. Goodbye.
you. Bye.